Hey guys, it's Pastor Andy with the Beat Church, and today is day number 5 on God of the Impossible. And today we're going to be talking about a big topic because we're talking about something that's not only affecting your life, but it's going to affect the life of your children. And so this is huge. And so I want to take you to a story in the Bible, and that's what we're doing. We're really looking at characters of the Bible. These are people from real history that had a walk with God, and we're going to learn from them what it means to follow a God of the impossible, to have faith, to believe, and to let Him lead us through difficult times or into giant, huge, amazing missions that He has for us while we're here on earth. And so when we look at the story of Abraham, Abraham was a man that had wanted a passion, a purpose for God. God told him in this verse out of Genesis that He was going to give him descendants more than the stars in the sky, more than the sand on the sea. Now, the exact number isn't the point. What He's trying to get across to Abraham is there's going to be way more than you can imagine. This is going to be huge. Now, the problem is that Abraham was an older man, and he didn't have the ability to have kids with his wife. His wife was older. They were infertile. I don't know if that's you. I don't know if you know someone that's infertile. But if you are trying to have kids and you're hoping to have kids, you're hoping to have this future, and that comes back as something that you're not able to do, it's pretty discouraging. Well, Abraham was in that boat, and he's like, I don't know what to do. This whole dream that God gave me, this vision that God gave me, it's not going to happen. But God gives him this promise that He is going to do it. But the key at the end of this verse is what I want to focus on today. At the end of this verse, it says that those descendants will conquer their enemies. And so the enemies that you're facing today, I don't know what they are. Maybe they're financial. Maybe you come from a history and a family line of financial struggles, financial difficulties, of poverty. And it feels like a curse that's just over your life. And you feel God stirring you to become a giver, to be generous. You say, how do I do that? I'm in poverty. I'm from a family of poverty. We don't have anything. Well, the promise of God is if you step out in faith on what He's stirring your heart to do, that He's with you, that He'll bless you. The Bible says give, it'll come back to you, pressed down, shaken together, and running over. There's an element of faith to step out and to begin to give. And I'm not saying just to give to the church, my church, or any others, but to be generous with people in your lives. Maybe you have a long history in your family of bitterness, a long history of just fighting and animosity. And you have dreams and visions that God put in your heart of love and encouragement and of a different type of environment. You say, I don't know how to do that. I get so filled with rage and I get so filled with bitterness and frustration when I get in difficult relational circumstances. I don't know how to do this. But when God gives you a promise, just like when He gave Abraham a promise, it's a promise for you and it's a promise for the generations after you. And you can believe that God will do the impossible in your life, that He will help you to work through these emotions, these angers, these bitternesses, and be able to deal with those in a positive way, to experience what it means to forgive, to have grace, mercy, and to love others. And then you'll be able to pass it on to your kids, and they will have victory over your enemies, over their enemies. And generations will be blessed and changed through what God is doing in your life if you keep the faith and you move forward and you continue to do it. Maybe you've always had a dream of adopting or fostering, and it just seems too big, and God, I can't do it. It's too hard, and there's too much going on, and this is just a difficult thing. But God is with you when you step out in faith and you say, I'm just going to do it. I'm going to move forward. I don't know if I can handle it. I don't know if I have the finances, but I'm just going to do the studies, take the classes, move forward. That when God blesses you because of the faith that you have in stepping out and following His lead, that He will do impossible things in your life. Things that on your own you say, there's no way I can handle this. There's no way I can do this. My wife and I recently adopted a little baby girl. Our youngest is 13 years old. We had this whole plan of our kids getting older, eventually moving out, and we'd still be young enough to go out and have fun, enjoy life. And this was one of our dreams, and God put it on our heart to adopt this little baby girl. In our mind, we thought, how can we do that? We're like past that stage. We don't want to start over. How do we even handle this? But God kept putting on our heart. And now we have this beautiful baby girl that we adopted almost 14, 15 months ago. Is that amazing? She's beautiful. She's wonderful. She brings joy into our life. And so this blessing that God gave us, he challenged us in faith to do something that seemed impossible. And it has become our blessing. And now it's becoming a blessing in this little girl's life as she's getting older and she's being surrounded by people that love her, and her joy comes out and her smiles and her waving and her excitement. God is working through our situation that seemed impossible to touch the next generation. That's God's plan. The battle that you're facing, the dream that you're chasing, isn't just for you. It's for you and for the generations that come after. So stir yourself to faith. Be encouraged. Realize that it's about more than yourself. It's much bigger than you think. It's important that you get up, pick yourself up off the ground. Run away from fear. Run into the arms of God and say, God, I know this doesn't seem possible. In fact, it seems impossible. But Lord, you called me to it. God, you're giving me vision to do it. And just like this little guy right down here in this video, just look up to heaven and say, God, I don't know how to do it, but I'm in. I am in. Because you do serve the God of the impossible, and he's able to do, the Bible says in Ephesians, exceedingly abundantly beyond all you can ask or imagine. Let that be your day today. Think in faith. Commit yourself to God. Look up to heaven. Give God the thumbs up on what he's calling you to do, and just start moving forward. God's with you. I hope this encouraged your faith. Share it. Encourage someone else's. There's a lot of fear. There's a lot of anxiety. There's a lot of worry out there. Together we can make a difference. Together we are making a difference. Let's fill up some faith buckets. Pass it along. Thanks for being here. I'll see you tomorrow.